Chef Laura is here from Celebrated Cuisine, and we are, like I said, we're talking about some delightful grains today.
Yes. Before you get to talk about men, we'll talk about grains.
All right.
So we're going to do 3 different recipes over the course of the hour today, and we're going to start with something called farro, F-A-R-R-O. It's an old world Italian grain, and it used to be very, very popular, pretty much the preeminent grain until corn was more widely cultivated. Okay.
Now, what does it taste like? Does it compare to anything?
To me, it's kind of a cross between a risotto, like so an arborio rice once it's been cooked, and a barley. So, but I think you can actually think of it as a spelt if you want to. So,
a spelt.
A spelt. I knew you knew exactly what I was talking about when I said that.
Spelt.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little bit of farro. We're also going to make something called quinoa. Okay, and we find this actually very easily now at the grocery store.
Oh yeah, it's a popular one.
Here's the cool thing about quinoa. In terms of the plant kingdom, it has the highest source of protein.
Really?
And it's a complete protein because it also includes 8 essential amino acids. So if you're looking to really ramp up your diet and eat very healthfully and eat clean and eat vegetarian even if you want to, quinoa is a way to go.
All right, so throw out the white rice.
Absolutely.
And get the quinoa for the family.
High in fiber, high in protein. It comes red, black, white, and so you can really have some cool things. And all these dishes, by the way, once they're done, are great either hot or cold.
All right, let's do it. I'm starving.
All right, well, our last one is going to be couscous. We'll do that very last, though.
Okay.
So what I'm doing here for the farro, okay, a few just basic ingredients. I have in this pan right here some mushrooms. These are oyster mushrooms that I just chopped up that you saw in the teaser earlier, and then I just pan-seared them. So there's no oil or anything in this pan except a little bit of kosher salt. And what I do is I bring the pan up to high heat, I add the mushrooms to it, and just let them sit. And as a result, they sear, they get this nice golden color on the outside, and you'll notice there's no liquid in my pan, so no liquid even releases, so they stay nice and moist on the inside. Okay. So we're going to just fold that into the farro at the end of our dish. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit. In this pan, and behind curtain number 2, we have a saucepan with shallots in it. Exactly, and shallots are an aromatic. So I'm using these because they're very sweet and in contrast to garlic, okay, so they won't overpower. And all I wanted to do was saute these with a little bit of olive oil, some kosher salt until they got caramelized. And now we're going to add our farro to this, okay? Now what you want to make sure you do with this is soak it for about an hour before you actually cook with it. In plain water, and then drain that out, and then all you need to do is just dump this right in. Okay, we're going to add that in at the end, but I'm going to have you do the vegetable stock in just a second. Okay. Now, if you wanted to make this with chicken stock, you could. Now, the technique I'm using right now is called parching. This is what we do for a pilaf, and I'm going to do this a little bit later with the quinoa as well. So all I want to do is when you parch this is you're coating the grain with the flavors that are already in the pan. Okay, so we're just bringing up our flavor level. I'm going to have you add the vegetable stock to this.
Okay, we have about 45 seconds. Okay. Doesn't it go fast?
It does go fast, just all the time. So what we'll do now is we're going to let this come up to a boil, and then once it does, I'm going to reduce it to a simmer, cover it, and just let it cook until most of the liquid has been absorbed. Okay. Then we're going to, at the end, we're going to fold in our mushrooms and our parsley to that, season it, and that's how easy it is to make farro. Okay. Okay? When we come back in a few minutes, you'll show us how this turned out. Yep, and obviously, then we'll go to the land of quinoa. The land of quinoa. I love it. It's a fabulous land. It sounds like a fun land. It is. Okay, so you just stick around. So coming up in a few minutes, we're making quinoa in the land of quinoa. Yes, we are. And in the land of Chef Laura. Okay, good. Thank you. I like having a land. Me too.